Good morning. Hi, I'm Phil McPhail with United Country Lifestyle Properties of Maine, and come along with me today. We're going to take a look at a property in the town of Brownville. And this property is going to be a beautiful little camp on an 86-acre lot with some nice mountain views. Stick around, I'll give you the price, taxes, and other information a little later on in the video. And on the way, we're going to take a tour of that part of Piscataquis County. Traveling to Brownville is quite simple. If you're coming from the north on 95 like I am right now, you're going to get off on the Howland exit, which I think is 208 roughly, and pick up Route 616 towards Milo. If you're coming north, you got a couple of options. You can get off the Newport exit, follow Route 7 over into Dover Foxcroft, and then pick up 616 and Route 11 to Brownville. Or you can come up to LaGrange. It's a little shorter distance from 95 into Brownville, and pick up 16 in Alton and follow that west to Milo and then eventually to Brownville. Coming in from Route 16 from the Howland exit, I just arrived here in the town of Milo, and Milo would be the nearest town for any kind of convenience items that you might need, from hardware to groceries. There is a gas station in Brownville, but that's about all that's there, a little takeout gas station. The town of Milo is a pretty good sized town. We got around 4,000 people here. See all the businesses. This is the main street of Milo right here. Grocery stores. There's a Walgreens here. Dunkin' Donuts if you got to get your fix of caffeine for the day. This town is Milo is also the town if you decide to move to Brownville. Your kids would go to school at high school in Milo at Penquis High School. And Milo is now becoming quite famous. It has one of the largest solar projects in the U.S. Brownville, in the area of Piscataquis County that we're in, back in the 1800s, they discovered quite a bit of iron ore in the ground in this part of the country, and they mined that, and there was a couple foundries up in Katahdin Iron Works where they produced the iron out of the ore, and then it was shipped early on by ox and carts all the way to the town of Bangor, where it was loaded on ships and transported around the world. In 1881, I believe, the Bangor and Katahdin Iron Works Railway was brought into Brownville, and that greatly sped up the transportation of the iron. And this area is also fairly well known. This old house here we just going by on the left is an example of the slate roof. There's a lot of slate in the ground in this part of Piscataquis County, and that was also a major industry here in the 1800s. Not so much today. There are a couple of slate manufacturers in the area that still deliver products around the world. Brownville today, most of the people who live here, they work in the woods. They may work small farms. A number of them work on the railroad and other service businesses in towns like Bangor and Dover Foxcroft. The railroad is in this part of the state is in pretty good condition and transports a lot of goods to and from Atlantic Canada, and then on west into the rest of the United States. Okay, we've come through Milo on Route 11, and we are now crossing into the town of Brownville. Brownville's population is around 1,200 people. I think it's 1,230 plus or minus. This town was actually part of the Waldo patent that was purchased by Moses Brown and Major Josiah Wood. Those two fellows were from Newburyport, Massachusetts. This town was settled in 1806, and at that time it was referred to as T5R8 NWP, or Township 5 Range 8. In 1819 it was organized as Brownville Plantation, and then later on in 1824 the town was actually incorporated as Brownville. And right here we're pulling up to the first turn we're going to take to head to Stickney Hill. This is the gas station I was talking about earlier. They actually have food service there, and it's kind of a nice sized convenience store. And right here at the Irving station, we're going to turn right onto Church Street. Just after the river, We're going to turn right here, right onto Stickney Hill Road, and that's going to take us to the property. This is the Stickney Hill Road, and this part of, well, most of Brownville actually, except for the area that's built up around the river and the business area, is mostly big woods. This is a big hardwood ridge up here on Stickney Hill. There are a few farms around, but mostly this is undeveloped timber areas. Most people have pretty large lots up here. You don't see too many half-acre house lots in Brownville. If you're a hunter, this part of Piscataquis County has a very good white-tailed deer population. A lot of wild turkey here, rough grouse. In the wetlands, we'll find a pretty good amount of ducks and geese flying through. And this area is very welcome to hunters in general. So if you're looking for an outdoor recreation destination, Brownville's a pretty good place to start. If you decide to take a drive up here and walk around the area, this turn right here gets a little confusing. The Stickney Hill Road goes straight in, and this road to the right, Stanchfield Ridge, goes down to Lakeview Village. So this is the beginning of the road, of the last bit of the road here before getting to the cabin. And this comes in a short distance. We're going to hook hard to the left here, stay on the Stickney Hill Road. We've got a couple communication towers up here. There's actually an internet company that has a tower up here that supplies wireless internet to people in the region. And we're almost to the end of the plowed road, and straight down over that hill you can see the mountains off in the background. Our property that we're heading to is right there, and this is the end of the road. We're going to walk from here. So this last 800 feet is not plowed. My pickup's right there. And you can see the cabin right there at the end of this little straightaway. One thing I've noticed already, this place is just full of deer tracks. There's a lot of apple trees around here, the neighbor's house back behind us, and there's just a beaten trail that the deer have made here through this property. Well, folks, we've arrived at the cabin here at 554 Stickney Hill Road, and I just thought I'd show you the best first. The view here is absolutely amazing. You got Schoodic Mountain in the foreground over here to the left, and that big white cap mountain right there, that's Maine's biggest mountain, Mount Katahdin, 5,270 odd feet tall. Absolutely gorgeous view, folks. You can see for miles. Yeah, that's 20 miles from here, so it's just an amazing view. Let's go look at the camp. Well, unfortunately, I don't have keys to this property yet. I will by the time this video gets online. This is a 2-room cabin. There's a small kitchen in here and living space right through that door. You'll see through the windows here in a second. And then the room in the back, which acts as a bedroom, sleeping areas, also stores the battery power and the inverter that runs off the solar panels here right in front of the cabin. And the entryway's got a little metal roof porch over it. Nobody's living here now, obviously, so again, I know, sorry, no key. You're not missing a whole lot inside. You could see most of it through the windows. It's pretty well an empty building. Do have gas stove, refrigerator, a little bit of furniture in here. There's our road heading back out towards the plowed section of Stickney Hill, right straight ahead, about 700 feet. Well, this cabin is about 240 square feet. It's not big. It sits on concrete piers. Solar, I think there's 800 watts here, I believe. I'll check that, and there'll be a info on the side of the video showing you what we believe to be there. Place is heated with wood. There's a wood stove chimney coming out up there, metal Vestas chimney. And apparently you can get satellite dish here too if you're interested. This is the back side of the cabin. There's some LP gas storage tanks here, the regulator. Over there is the top of the dug well, that concrete tank right there. And this is a beautiful apple tree here, and you can't tell now, it's the middle of February, 15 degrees out. And then over here is actually a first-class outhouse. This area has all been cleared here, and I'm guessing there's probably 4 or 5 acres of clearing where all of the trees have been removed. You know, there's some rocks here to deal with, but the soils here are a combination soil of Plaisted Howland and Penquist Association, and these soil types, and you can see the map here, we'll show you. This is good soil for growing trees and for wildlife, and it can be farmed. The problem with it typically is it's kind of rocky, so you're going to have to remove some rocks here, but it can be done. The trees have all been removed from this section, so now all you got to do is pull the stumps, and I have a gentleman that would be more than happy to talk to you that could have this cleared out in a day of all the stumps. The residual stand outside of this clear cut is a mix of poplar, yellow birch, sugar maples, spruce fir, pine, a little bit of everything in this forest. And we're up here at the height of land at about 750 feet of elevation. The land drops down to, I think, roughly 600 feet on the far northern end of the lot. This is the property border here on the left, which follows this old discontinued road, which is a wintertime snowmobile trail that's groomed, as you can see. And in the summertime, this section of it is ATV. And then over here, the snowmobile trail continues, but ATVs do not go on that section. That landowner on the other side of this doesn't want the ATVs in there, and that's their prerogative. You would take a detour out Stickney Hill to continue on the ATV trail from here. But like I said, we're going to take a ride over to Wildwoods Restaurant. I mentioned that earlier. And if you were going to go to Wildwoods, you can actually access it right from here with your UTV, ATV, or snowmobile. And this trail will bring you right to the doorstep of Wildwoods Restaurant. Talk briefly about Piscataquis County in this part of the state. This is where the 100-mile wood section of the Appalachian Trail runs through, not too far north of here. Baxter State Park is about an hour and 15-minute drive from here across Route 11 into Millinocket and then out the state road to the park. Moosehead Lake is about an hour to the northwest of here. Sebec Lake is only about 20 minutes away from the cabin. And then Schoodic about 5 minutes to the Lakeview landing. All right, we're going to take a ride over to the other side of town now, and we're currently on the outer part of Church Street, but we're going to turn onto the Schoodic Lake Road. We're going to go down and see a local gathering place, restaurant, and cabins called Wildwoods. And you can reach Wildwoods from the ATV and snowmobile trail that we just saw there at the property. We'll see if we can find the owner, Sherry Brackett, see if she's around and see what's happening at Wildwoods today. This is the Schoodic Lake Road, and it leads to Schoodic Lake. All right, so we're now turning on to Russell Road, and this is where Wildwoods Trailside Cabins and Restaurant is located. This is just about a mile from the boat landing at Schoodic Lake, and from the property, as the crow flies, is about 4 or 5 miles. Then the trail and the road over here is a little longer than that. Okay, we've arrived at Wildwoods, and the really neat thing about this establishment, well, there's a lot of things, but the snowmobile and ATV trail actually come right to the doorstep. So a little bit later today when they open up, this place will be full. Right full of snowmobiles. You can see the trail coming in there is all groomed, and she's got these little cabins, and then over here is the restaurant.
Hello and welcome to Wildwoods. We're located in Brownville on the ITS 111 trail. This area is really conducive for motorized recreation as well as non-motorized recreation. You get beautiful lakes, fishing, swimming, hiking, ATVing, UTVing, snowmobiling. It's a really pretty area. We have 120 seats in the restaurant. We got 6 cabin rentals. We're open year-round and we'd love to have you here.
So after you leave Wildwoods, you come out the end of Russell Road and pick up Church Street and head down to Stickney Lake. So we're going to go down and take a look at the lake, which is frozen solid right now. And this weekend, actually, I think the 14th, 15th is this weekend of February, is the 59th annual Stickney Lake Ice Fishing Derby. And this derby has over $18,000 worth of prizes, $400 each for the largest lake trout, brook trout, and salmon. And out there in the distance is Stickney Lake. Looks like a big white field right now. That is actually a 7,600 plus or minus acre lake that is nearly 200 feet deep. It's one of the deepest lakes in Maine. Very clean, very good dissolved oxygen down below 100 to 150 feet. It's some of the best lake trout fishing in Maine and landlocked salmon. Great place to go boating. Most of the development is over here on the west side. And we're going to go over and look at Knight's Landing, which is the public landing. I'll show you that next. So this is Knight's Landing Road. At this intersection here, the T, you go right. There's a parking lot up there for your boats and your boat trailers and your vehicles. And you just take a quick left right here. And the landing is right there, right in between this cabin on this side and the one on the left. And this is Stickney Lake, and again it's about 7,600 acres. It's nearly 10 miles long, and right here it's over 2 miles wide. And those little dots you can see off in the distance, those are ice shacks. They're getting set up here. This weekend is going to be the 59th annual fishing derby here. It's always a good time for a lot of people come from all over the place to come fish this lake in the winter. Coming back into Brownville, just as you turn off Stickney Hill Road, you got the fire department here on the left, the post office and town office right there ahead of us, this big square gray building, and then again right before we cross over the Stickney River, the Pleasant River. The Pleasant River runs through this part of Piscataquis County, eventually leading into the Pleasant River. And this is the river that runs through what we call Gulf Haggis, Maine's Grand Canyon. Beautiful hiking trail. You can access that through Katahdin Iron Works Gate, not far up Route 11 from Brownville. I mistakenly told you the town office was in the post office. Actually, it's over here at the Public Works Station on Route 11. The town office that's in that post office building is actually Lakeview Plantation, which is where Stickney Lake is. Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour of this particular cabin with the mountain views of Katahdin and Stickney Mountain. If you need more information, give me a call. Sorry, it's really cold out here today, and almost the cold takes your breath away. But if you like winter, come up here this winter, take a look at this. I don't believe this cabin's going to last, and as promised, the price on this cabin is at $70,000 even. The taxes are right around $600 per year, so it's an affordable property with 86 acres of land, mountain views, dug well, outhouse, ATV and snowmobile trail access. You're not going to find a better deal, folks. Give me a call today, 800-286-6164. Looking forward to your call.